All right, welcome to the MMA discussion board. Um, wanted to, well, I had tried to do this video before, um, but I went over the 15-minute mark. I didn't know that you had to keep your videos under a certain limit when you first start out, but I thought today would be a good day to redo this and talk about Kayla Harrison's decision to stay at PFL. Um, This ends up making the deal. The PFL deal apparently makes her the highest paid female combat sports athlete right now, uh, and a lot of people have been throwing legacy and pay into this discussion. Of course, we've seen like public negotiations between, uh, Scott Coker at Bellator. He's pulling the we're in the Chris Cyborg business essentially. PFL, of course, they're using Kayla's not really fighting anybody or something like that. Like that's usually the arguments used when that comes up. Um, as well as Dana, who also did a similar similar take. That you want to come here and fight Amanda, you want to come here and fight Shevchenko, threw Rose in there. These of course, Valentina Shevchenko probably the most decorated MMA. Yeah, she might be the most decorated female combat athlete in MMA right now. Other than not, I mean, she doesn't have she's not a double champion, but she has stand up gold outside of the UFC as well as being a dominant UFC female champion. So she's thrown in, and of course Amanda, you have Amanda with the double champ belt. So legacy really sits at the UFC right now when it comes to stuff like that because of all of the people that have come there, gotten beat, people with gold medals. I think Henry lost his first fight against DJ. And so they can essentially say that. And then, of course, you had Ronda, who, you can say that she lost there as well. So you can say that legacy is there. Your Olympic medals don't matter. And, of course, if you didn't know, Kayla actually holds Olympic gold and world's gold. So that's being factored in as well. Uh, but the thing is, and it's something I've thought about where she may have made the right decision in staying at let me close this at staying at PFL right now is just the overall state of the featherweight um, division right now. Of course, we know we have Norma Dumont, we have Felicia Spencer, who recently retired. We also have Megan Anderson, who also recently stepped away from the UFC. And with them gone, even though Amanda's there, there kind of isn't any other. There isn't any other, contenders at featherweight. So even if she beats Amanda, which she has a cut to 145 to actually fight Amanda, as PFL is at 155. Clarissa Shields was at 155. PFL's division is lightweight, not featherweight. Uh, Kayla did say she didn't mind cutting, but she's gonna have to make a sacrifice to get there to the UFC if if she decides to go there, or Bellator if she decides to go there. But talking more on the UFC, as said, for quite some time, and I think this is relevant, especially now when you're talking about Kayla moving to the UFC. It's like this division has been like blank, even with like Norma Dumont as of recent is supposed to be fighting Macy Chiasson on this up and coming card, I believe, or it might be on the June 22nd card. I don't have that in my notes right now, but that's a bantamweight fight. Unless Macy is moving up, which I have not seen in the news. If she is, that could be great for the division. The featherweight division needs to be built. Um, and they definitely need to be ranked. Kayla is at least in a tournament, for the featherweight. I mean, for her, the lightweight title, I believe. Um, as far as it goes right now with the UFC, there are no real, the order as it goes with featherweight. There's no real rankings. There's no real tournament. There's no real standpoint. So as far as legacy goes, the only fight she's going to end up getting is the Amanda fight, and that's it. I'm not saying that Juliana is not, if she decides to cut to 135, that's another one of those things where it's like, you know, is Kayla gonna cut to 135? You just don't know stuff like that. But right now the only fight at featherweight for her is Amanda. If and see, that's the thing with the legacy argument. It's like, if if we're saying that Kayla doesn't get like legacy from fighting in PFL because the names aren't as prominent or as loud, besides the Clarissa Shields when she moved over, we're talking about like an empty division after Amanda, and you know so I don't know. I'm thinking she made the right decision in this particular case, because I think a lot of her reasoning ended up being timing and stuff like that. But you know, I feel like until, like, she could go over to Bellator, fight Cyborg, probably fight Julia Budd and stuff like that. When I think Julia Budd actually went over to PFL, if I'm not mistaken. I can actually check. Let me just check right now. I don't want to. I don't want to guess too many times on this particular thing. Julia Budd. So no, she's still at Bellator. She's still at Bellator. So no. Yeah, no. She's still at Bellator. But they at least have ranked. They've at least ranked the women at featherweight at Bellator. She could do that before touching UFC. Um, but the UFC probably needs to build up the division. If Amanda isn't gonna be there, or if Amanda is there, or if Amanda even wants that fight, you know but that'll end up being the only fight. And then you have the thing with, like, Amanda and her used to be teammates. They were a part of the same team. If you look in the media, um, you'll see, like, the jokes between George Masvidal and Kayla about team captain and stuff like that. Amanda recently left. I don't know if that immediately just puts her as a target, but coming up, uh, you know, other than the Amanda fight, there's just not much at UFC for her to do. So she may have just made the right decision. That's just my opinion on it. Fire off in the comments. I don't want to go as long as I did in the video before this, purely because, of course, like I said, the 15-minute mark. I don't want to put too many words in. But fire off in the comments if you think she made the right decision staying at the UFC. I mean, staying at PFL, Lord Jesus. Because right now, I don't know, when you have like something like Kayla's, of course, you fight in the tournament, you end up making $1 million at the end of the tournament if you win. And then you're getting better pay at the PFL. I don't know, that's something to discuss. But if she's getting that pay, if this might be a situation where if they already got somebody like Clarissa Shields, You know, instead of Clarissa Shields trying to do like, you know, the Ultimate Fighter or something like that, where you know you kind of just build yourself up. Uh, you know, they might get more people like that. You know, Clarissa Shields is an Olympic level boxer. Kayla, of course, like I said before, is an Olympic level. Like, you know, if they keep going, if all the Olympians, all the decorations go to PFL because of the tournament for the $1 million, it's like pretty soon that dynamic of, oh, you know, well, we have Amanda Nunes double champ, but it's like PFL can turn around and say, well, our first lightweight champion was multi-time Olympian, multi-time worlds, you know, and if Kayla ends up losing, it's like the stack discussion falls away, you know, because then it's like, well, who in the women's featherweight division beat somebody as decorated as Kayla Harrison, you know? So, like I said, don't want to go too long. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm hoping to talk a bit about Valentina Shevchenko in the flyweight division next. It is not in the slides, but yeah, I'm hoping to talk about that next because that division is in quite of a flip. And this weekend, there are two very important fights. You have Manon Fiorot, who's a French Muay Thai stand-up fighter, who has been, I mean, she's, you know, if you can get anybody that's a newcomer that, you know, you want to put up against Valentina, she might be the one. Then, of course, you have Casey O'Neill as of recent. But that division is in a big transition. Big transition, and pretty soon Valentina might be seeing some really different contenders. Of course, we recently uh, lost Roxanne Modafferi. Not lost, but she's given in her last fight against Casey and retired. So I'll try to get that video up before Saturday, so you can have some know-how on how that goes and whether or not, you know, we'll see come Saturday whether or not Manon is as good as people think she might be. But thank you. Like and subscribe. Comment on what you think of the decision, and comment on what you think. Do you think Manon has what it takes to beat Valentina at some point? Let me know, and y'all have a good one. Thank you.